Hello everybody. So far we've imported our data into Power BI, but what we've really got in this one data set is two tables, a country table and also a table of cases every day, a fact table. So what we're going to do is we're going to split them apart in the query editor to get the two tables, and then we're going to look at them in the modeling pane, which we've got here, and we're going to join them together and we're going to make some small improvements. Let's get started. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come along and I'm going to reference the base table. So what happens here is that I've just got a new data set that points to the end of base. It starts where base finishes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to call that dataset country. And then I'm going to choose some columns in that data set. And I'm going to choose all my static country columns. So I'll unclick that and I'll choose 1, 2, 3, 4, all my country columns. Once I've got those, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come along. We've obviously got lots of duplicates there because each country is repeated for every date that there is a recording. And so I'm going to come along and say remove rows and remove duplicates. And what we've got there is we've got 206 rows, as you can see at the bottom, one for each country. If I look at the country code 2, that's unique. Every country has a different country code and a different name. We can see that the same here. Notice country code 3, the couple of missing values, including Anguilla, so that it's not very useful as a linking key. We'll use country code 2, and we've got population. Again, it's got a couple of missing values and continents. Good. Now we've created our country table, let's create our fact table. Again, I'm going to reference the base table, and this one I will call fact. And then I'm going to again choose the columns, and these are going to be the columns that are my date, cases, deaths, and I'm using my country code 2 as my linking column to the country table. I click on OK. And this table, I don't need to remove duplicates. There aren't any duplicates anyway. I've got a unique row for every date for every country. The other thing I'm going to do now, I no longer need to see base in my field list, so I'm going to disable load to that. It will mean that those quick visualizations we built will break, but that doesn't matter so much because we'll quickly fix them. So coming back into close and apply, what we can do is come back here. Takes time to bring it in, and these are broken. Let's just fix those. I'm going to remove those filters. On the axis for my bar chart, I'm going to use my country, and I'm going to use the number of cases in my value, and there is our bar chart back. We'll do exactly the same for the bubble map, country on location, and we're going to use cases on our size. There we go. Now let's improve our data model slightly. We can see if we look at the field list that we've got country code here and here. We've got it twice, and we don't need it twice. It's the same country code. If we look at our model, we can see that we've got it here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide it in report view from on the fact table. It's the country code, so it sits more nicely and neatly in the country table. So if I come back and look at that, we can see that country code has disappeared from there. Let's talk a bit about our table layout. What we've got now is two tables. They are related by this relationship here on country code. What it's saying is that we can take columns from the country table and columns from the fact table on the same visual, and Power BI will know what to do with them. This is actually what's called a star schema, although it's a very simple one. What we've got is we've got a fact table in the middle. Later on it'll be surrounded by other dimension tables like the country. The fact table is a table of events. It's usually a long table, and for each column in the fact table that's not a numeric column like country code 2, we have a linking column that takes us to our dimension table. We've got a dimension table like country. Later on we could have product or region or all sorts of things, but with our country table, once we know the country code, we know other aspects about the country table, such as the population. In our next session, we're going to be improving our data model and we're also going to be writing our first DAX calculations. So I hope to see you then. Bye.